And we are back for the grand final of our Academy Gaming EU Amateur Weekly number 5. We have got a good amount of viewers now. We're nearing 100. That'd be quite nice if we can break that barrier again. So keep on getting those guys in to watch. Let me edit some stuff. I am joined again by Aeyana here. He's been a little bit quiet, but he is here.
Sorry guys, what up?
Build-wise, we will go over blue team in its entirety and we'll glance over red team again because obviously we've already seen them. I just need to try and get them to join their teams. So we will start going. We'll start straight away as they load in. We'll start with Tycee playing. He plays Sword Dagger, so your traditional Sword Dagger build, but he does play with Rune of the Pack instead of the Strength Runes, which is a little bit different. He does run 2066. Here is where his trait spread gets different, and we saw this last week, and we're seeing it again, that he runs trait number 12 in Acrobatics for the gain initiative on swapping weapons while in combat. Now, when we saw it last time, we weren't entirely sure how effective it was going to be, and it didn't seem to make a major amount of difference in game either. So we'll have to see how that works out. But it's definitely
dodge.
Yep, it's definitely an interesting choice, and that explains his change in runes as well. He's not taking advantage of the might, so his damage is going to be a little bit less on Sword Dagger as well. But he's going to be able to have the initiative to spam even more dodges, so he is going to be even more evadey than a regular one. While they're doing their nice little thing up here. He is running with the usual Basilisk Venom though again.
Just going to point out there as well, if you look at the runes on the weapons, normally somebody on a crossbow, on the short bow, sorry, would normally take something like an endurance rune, but he again has just taken air fire on both weapon sets.
I think he's just trying to make up for a little bit of his damage loss maybe by taking some of the burst sigils on both sets. And then we move into Slycore goes berserk here, playing Sword Warhorn Shortbow. Shortbow? Longbow, that'd be an interesting shortbow. Sword Warhorn Longbow Warrior. So, Celestial with the Rune of the Soldier. So your regular 00464. Again, very much the EU trait spread. Also running On My Mark, so I believe that is going to put both of them. So we don't have any fear me's. So there's going to be no fears coming out here from any team. So we've got banners again. Slycore's got the banner, he's got the Shake It Off, he's got your On My Mark, he's got For Great Justice, so he's got the three shortest cooldown shouts. He does have the Battle and the Intelligence, so it's sort of your bog standard build. Then we've got Condi running, not Condi, he is running Celestial Rifle with Rune of the Pack. Now I've dabbled with this one myself as well. Even more swiftness duration. You got permanent swiftness anyway, but this just guarantees it. Extra precision, so you're going to crit a lot more, which is going to get off your this one here, your incendiary powder, so you're going to burn a lot more, so it's going to put the damage out there more. He is running with power wrench as well, so 10% increased damage, 20% recharge reduced. He's running grenades, toolkit, and slick shoes. Slick shoes, very powerful knockdown. Strip stability stacks, as they now work. They work in stacks, obviously. Strip stability stacks like absolutely nothing else. I'd say currently one of the most powerful utilities in game, I'd say, in terms of denial and keeping people locked down. And then we've got Niveau playing again. I think we've seen this. Have we seen this in every game? The Hammer Scepter Focus off guard playing Rune of the Pack, Berserker Amulet. We've got Intelligence, Fire, Air and Blood, so he's taking blood there on his Scepter Focus, so a little bit more survivability based. Again, Glacial Heart for the chill. We've got the taking the stuff for the courage and the Virtue of Resolve, so he's got his and then Unscathed Contender, deal more damage while under the effects of Aegis. So these ones here are going to give him a bit more survivability on his virtues. He's going to get some Condi Cleanse with that number 9, and he's going to get stability, so he can get a safe stomp there with that trait there, the number 10 trait. And then we move into Alex goes cantrips, plays Dagger Dagger. They do usually, actually, they don't usually play with an NG, they usually play with two LEs, so this is a bit of a different setup for these guys. He's playing Dagger Dagger, Holbrack Celestial Amulet, 00266, and he is running with that elemental shielding, so he's got the protection when applying an aura to yourself. So again, a little bit different to one of the ones that we saw earlier. But otherwise, very much your standard Ellie. He is running as well, Fiery Greatsword, so very mobile there. And then we'll quickly just go over. Red team still exactly the same, still playing the same builds. We've got the 60044, we've got the Shout Bow, we've got the another Off Guard, we have got a Thief, and we have got an Ellie. So, looking at this, we are playing identical mirror comps. Slight differences with the Thief and Ellie, slightly playing different stuff, but other than that, identical comps.
Indeed, so both teams as well for the first time watched they running in a Thief, so we'll be able to see if Tice will be able to lock down Talek or not. These two both playing acrobatic builds, so will be more capable of doing the one-on-ones and stuff, but expect a lot of decaps in this match and stuff like that, but we'll have to see how it goes.
We are still waiting for a few ready-ups. Blue team being very slow in the game. I may just force start if it takes too much longer.
I'm just going to... Did Captain Nevo in the finals play Hammer last week, by the way? Because when I was watching him, he was always playing Greatsword.
He may have played Greatsword last week. I think this might be a change for him, yep. The game is about to begin, so they are just about to start up.
The match starts soon.
So we do have... It's going to be interesting to see their splits, whether they play relatively aggressively today. We've got Evris' Pirates on red, don't know what to do on blue, who clearly do know what to do because they have come in our top 3 weeks running now. So there we are playing aggressive splits from both sides. We are going to get big pushes from both teams, and they are going to actually engage here in mid. Nevo comes out on Sync, and Sync is half health already. Talek is have to stealth up, and Ticey and Talek are going to have a little duel off to the side here. In fact, Talek is actually going to stay in and try and take out Nevo, but blue team just aren't letting that happen. They are going to nuke down Talek, and he's going to drop quickly. Sync's pulling back in, but Talek's gone. Athema is in. They're getting their side points, and we've got a 1v1 going on mid with Evris against Condi up here. But this they've taken out Talek, and blue team, that is going to give them the advantage pushing into this mid fight. Just straight away, they've taken the Thief off the point.
Alex already countered Talek already. Actually gone straight back to his home point, making sure, knowing that Talek's on respawn, to make sure he doesn't go for the decap.
We've got a crate there by Sync as well, having to. He's got again that DPS coming out from blue team, and he has dropped Captain Nevo. And then we've got the banner from Everest as well. So Sync is back up. He needs to start pulling out, get a bit of healing out. He's got some regen on him. He needs to start pulling out Condi. Nevo started to drop a little bit. He's going back up. Sync's going to go down again. Sync getting very, very low, 1,000 health. He is going to be able to. He doesn't pull away. He really needed to drop down and kite there. And look at Alex going for the decap.
Everest's gone straight in there for the res with Tasty on him as well. They've actually managed to get him straight back up.
So this team fight is going on, but they are going to be able to swap and play sides. With Nevo finally dropping, Alex is just going to go for the decap. With Tasty Red pulling out, Nevo's dropped, Condi's going to drop, Slycore is getting very close to drop, and Red Teamer, Condi dies from full damage. Maybe the best choice there for him, because he was probably going to go down anyway with Talek chasing him. Talek's going to go for that decap, but he's actually not going to be able to, so he's just going to hang out, sort of watch beach a little bit, watch for the respawns. Nevo gets the home point, and Red Team have swung this back. That looked like very early it was going to go in blue team's favour, and this is going right back in favour of red team again.
A fantastic turnaround there by red team. The early downing of Talek from blue team gave them +1 up on mid, but straight up, although it was shifting in blue team's favour, as you see, the banner brought Sync up straight away, and they managed to turn it back around. And
so we do have Condi pushing this point, but with Aphromer and Tasty Bread here, Condi is almost down already. Before Ticey can even get to the point, Condi is going to drop. And it does make you wonder, Alex went for a really good decap, and maybe he should have stayed and tried to get the full cap. At least then they could have kept another new fight going. Even though, a few of them were wiping on mid, but maybe they could have kept a bit of a fight going here. Or capped it and played with the 2-cap for a little bit. So maybe, in that retrospect, that was a little bit of a bad
Condi's
move.
here. Condi's gone down.
Condi's gone down. Ticey's very close to dropping as well. But there's the banner, there's the banner. The banner from Slycore, who may even pull in and get the decap. They are going to be able to decap this one. Are they going to be able to get it? Nope. Tasty Bread ports back on point. Good port by Tasty. Athema gets the immobilize off as well. So we've got Condi.
Ticey's Tyson's looking around this point as well. It could be a +1 over on the mine here.
Atema's had to use his heal, so he's going to get low. He's only got 1 cooldown left. He's already used his elite, so he's having to massively pull off point. With Slycore and Captain Nevo here against Tasty Bread, and Evris is pulled into the point as well. They have decapped mid with Alex, and Ticey's actually pulled in here as well. So Talek came into this point, but Ticey has come in, and they're going to get the 2v2 here. Talek's leaving. Ticey's going to let him go. Is he going to try and port up? He is actually just going to let him go. They're just going to 2v1 here now, and they may well be able to get this point back. Ticey's going to stealth up. I think he knows that Talek's going to come back into this point when he's regened a little bit.
No, he's played defensive. He's actually gone over towards the home point, thinking Talek's going to go around the back and go for the decap. But
a good fake out there by Talek.
Kept him on the +1 situation.
Evris goes down though. Evris goes down. Evris goes down on mine, so he bleeds out. Slycore gets the decap. Athamo also goes down. Condi and Nevo able to pull away off point. Slycore's going to get this full cap, and this is going to start swinging. Although Ticey's going to get decapped. Tasty Bread is going to get the decap here on Hendra. I don't know if Condi's going to be able to get over there before the full cap happens. He's actually going all the way into mid as well. They're going to keep this fight going from mid, and they're going to go for far. So they're just swapping the point that red team have. Maybe a good idea, better than playing so overly aggressively. But
well
red team as well. Red team have 2 respawns, so it's going to be interesting to see how Slycore can cope with this, especially with Talek pulling off the point as well.
I would say Sink was playing well there, just jumping in and out of the point, but eventually Captain Nevo jumps onto him with the Hammer 2, didn't knock him out.
Slycore's knocked off point and immobilized, and Ring of Wanding it off point, and Asamer and Everest immediately get the decap. Slycore didn't even really attempt to get back on point from what I can see. I know he has suffered from lag in the past, so I don't know if that affected him there, but that was a little bit of a mistake, and now we're going to have another team fight breaking out on this decapped point, but blue team won't fret here because they have been winning these slightly larger engagements. So they're going to focus there. It looks like they're going to go for Evris first. Damage coming out on Evris.
Evris now just jumping on and off point. You can see the focus is on him and he's staying out of it. Although
Talek's blown up. Talek is down. Atema though, Atema's also down. Atema's gone down at the same time, very close. The banner's come up and the banner doesn't get either of them up. The poison is on both of them and doesn't get either of them up. And that is some great cleave there from Don't Know What to Do. Takes out Talek and Atema. Sink is down as well. Evris, that banner was... I mean, it was needed. He needed to go for that banner. But the poison stops him getting up. And we have... we're going to have basically a 4-man wipe here. With Talek just respawning. And Atema's respawn now as well. So that is some great play again from blue team there.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
Talek's gone into mid, but he's actually going around the back point now. He could be maybe looking at a decap opportunity, or is he going to jump straight back onto point? Waiting for his teammates now, I think.
Yeah, blue team just have to. You can see them spreading out sort of across this line here. They're waiting to see where red team push out so that they can reinforce. And that is some great positioning play by them. Red team are pushing straight back into their home point, and we've got Slycore against Asima on point with Sinks come in as well. So it is a 2v1 currently. But nope, now we've got 4 members of blue team here again. We've got 4. It looks like we might get a bit of a 1v1 maybe, but Tasty's pulling off, and we've got this 4v4 breaking out again, and blue team have been winning these recently. They did lose the original one on mid, but since then they've been well on top.
No, I have to agree there. Tasty was looking at the opportunity to go in 1v1, but with
they have dropped Nevo this time, but I believe he's bannered up. He is bannered up. Condi's close to going down. Nevo's going to drop again, and that banner comes out, gets him up, but only temporarily. They are actually, after saying they did quite well last time, they are going to lose this team fight. Atema's very close to dropping himself though. That decap's coming out with that knockback from Sink, gets Slycore off point long enough to get the decap, and that wipes blue team. And now we only have Ticey holding midpoint. Alex has just pushed in to keep this decapped. He's going to try and get Slycore up. Is he going to be able to? It's going to be close. He does get him up. So now we do have a 3v2 breaking out here, but Alex is going to has to pop into his water and pops out of it straight away, just to get a little bit of healing off there to regen. And blue team still in the still being 3v2'd here, but can keep this point decapped.
Now looking at a situation though with blue team respawning, with 2 members respawning straight onto Tasty, with Captain Novo and Condi. Will Tasty be able to take the pressure? He's popped his armor of earth already. And he's on a cooldown. But this could be his demise. He's going down now and he's dropped.
Look at Ticey pulling in here as well. They've realised as well that Red Team Red Team were aggressively playing those 2 fights. So Ticey's moved off it. He was guarding mid. He's pulled off. He's come in there. He came in to try and get Talek. Alex pulled out of the fight that was lost on mine and pulls back into keep. And the fight's going to continue here. But that was some great rotational play by Blue Team again. They might get decapped here though. Alex is immobilized off point and the decap is coming in. And again, that's some great play by Sync and Athema just to absolutely lock Alex down in that corner.
Also, he also actually has popped all his virtues, all his cantrips now. So coming out of water, he is left a little bit. Armor of Earth coming off cooldown, and he should be good to go. Support's up there early, and they've actually flicked it round onto Sync, and Sync's actually gone down now, poison straight onto him. I don't think they're going to be able to get a res here.
No, they're not even going to try. They are pulling off straight away. I think they may try and move the fight over to the other point. Athema definitely engaging onto Niveau there. The pull though comes back from Condi. And that's going to start taking out Athema straight away. He's not going to, he might well struggle against the poisons on him. He's chilled that. He's got that heal on, but the poison was on him, so his heal isn't as effective as it could be either. And he's going to get 2v1'd off point. He is going to get absolutely nuked. And Ticey, you're right, with the great decap. Evris isn't going to get in time. Ticey is actually going to stay and engage this a little bit. He's going to pull out now with Athema on respawn as well. That is. That is all they needed to do. They can now reinforce mid again with Sync here being chased up.
Did you see that?
Ticey's there and Condi's there. Yep, you're right. 80 points away. They just they need to. Niveau is right. Holding this cap.
Ticey going to chase. He's jumped back in. Talek, he was about to jump down there, but actually he's jumped straight back into combat. His heels come off. Great survivability.
Talek's going to go for the decap. They know. He's pulling back though. The thing is, it's interesting that. That they've got their DPS hanging out, just watching, the home point. Usually, you see it's usually the NG or the LE doing that, and the DPS is off, getting their DPS off in team fights. But Ticey here actually, Sync goes down in mid, so they are still winning this, even without the Death Guard there. And Ticey, he's actually just going to jump all the way through. I thought he was going for the decap there, but he went all the way around. I think he thought that Athema was a little bit closer to him than he was. He is pulling in for this 1v1, but again, he's just going to get a few short bows off and then disengage. And with 50 points to go, and they've got a 100-point lead here on Red Team. Talek, again, close to mid. He's playing very aggressively. Ticey takes him out as well. Talek, a very aggressive player here in this first game. Didn't look so aggressive last game, so I don't know whether he's just, trying to do a bit too much maybe here with them having to come from behind. But Sync has dropped as well.
I think that's it. I think they've seen what they need to do now. Red Team, knowing that they have to get mid, then push off. They're playing it all or nothing tactic now, and it could be their demise as Sync's down. Evris is about to drop. Tacey's looking low as well. And then Ticey also going over for the decap.
He's gonna get that with Talek coming out his left gate as well. That's gonna give Ticey the time, although he has already noticed, and he is in short bow, so he may. Although I think with the way he was skipping there, he does get the decap because he stealths in. So the decap has happened. And he gets a really good Bazzy Venom off on Talek there with the short bow cluster bomb, I think that was. So we do have a little Thief 1v1 going with 1 point to tick over. And Blue Team do take that first game. So that is a very great start. And this could be the final time when don't know what to do actually manage to win this tournament. They have been the bridesmaid but never the bride before. And this could very well be their week. We've got one game. They just have to win one more game. This game on Legacy of Fofire to take home the 2,000 gems.
It's been in the encounters. It's been a very, very close fight. Actually, I mean, as we saw, don't know what to do. Actually, taking a team fight, one of the big team fights, and Everest Pirates taking one of the big team fights. The only thing I would say, maybe Blue just rotated a little bit better in the first game, which gave him more opportunities. At one point, Tasty was actually stuck watching one of the back points too much so I think maybe rotating Tasty into one of the fights actually would serve better purpose with the heals he can provide,
and especially with that focus as well. A lot of a lot of blue team's damage is actually coming from range with the Condi and the warrior and Nevo when he's in his scepter. So that swirling winds may well be able to negate a lot of what's going on that point, especially if it's well timed. So you're right. You know, they need to rotate him and use him more effectively in those team fights. We'll get these guys to Evris just be right back. So we'll give him a second.
That's something that we have seen today, though. I mean, players going down. The cleave from both teams have been very good. I mean, quite a few wasted banners, you could argue, as poison was onto the body and they were knocked under the health barrier very quickly. I think either banners need to come quicker or not at all.
Yep. We'll give them a couple of minutes just for Evris to come back. No, we're not in any particular rush, I don't believe, tonight, so that's fine. They have gone on to the right colours this time as well. We don't have any repeats of last game, so that is useful. We are, obviously for anybody just joining, this is the grand final of our Academy Gaming EU Amateur Weekly number 5. Later on tonight, I believe I think it's in about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. We do have the NA version of this tournament, hosted by Storm himself. That will be, I believe sign-ups for that are still open, so if anybody does happen to be from NA here, or have an NA account or want to play, I believe they are still welcome to sign up. I'm sure when Storm hears this, he will confirm in chat whether that is still the case. I know he did put it earlier, but we'll just double check. You know, people can sign up if people are still up and want to watch. His Twitch is Game with Storm. He is in chat now, so just click on him, give him a follow. Watch their tournament later. They do play with the ability for free agents, so if you are just a lone player and want to play with some of the NA guys, he will team you up with another team of guys if provided they get enough of them. So that will be happening in a few hours from now. I believe it's about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Some very good quality teams on NA as well. I've seen a few of them, and they do get some very good quality matches. So we'll have to see. I should hopefully be able to watch that one later. We'll have to see how that goes, but it's going to be very, very interesting. We also have next Saturday we have the grand final of the Highway to Wipe renewal tournament with hosted by, I believe, me and Jebra are both casting. I don't know if we're casting different games or whether we're casting together yet, but I believe we are both set up to cast that weekend. So that'll be next Saturday, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 PM. 8:30 PM GM, no, 8:30 PM CEST, I think it is now, summertime. So we'll go on with that. We'll get everybody to ready up. Everything is back in map now. So we'll get everybody to ready up, and we will get going. We are just waiting for 3 guys from each team. Now it's just Evris, because Evris always has to be last. There he goes. Now it's Alex, Captain Nevo, and Ticey. Publicly shame them.
And there we go, we're underway. Sorry about the delay there, guys.
The match starts soon.
So both teams playing very defensive splits last. Very offensive splits last time. Hopefully, we'll see it again. Talent getting caught out early though, so may have to change it up.
See how they play here. We do have. It looks like it's going to be a big push to middle. It does look like Evris is going to go for the 1v1. Talak is actually circling all the way back round, thinking that blue team might be sending guys round. Blue team, yep, you're right. I see you circling on the map there. Blue team are sending all of their DPS to their home point. They're stealthed up as well, so Evris is going to get absolutely nuked here on this point. I think there was a bit of lag there or something. I don't know if that was on my end or in game, but Evris survives a little bit longer than.
Shots already though.
Yep, he has had to use.
On him. He's not back. And oh, he's still up though. No, and he's down. He's dead.
He is out, so that is going to take him out of the game quickly. That is going to put them at a small disadvantage now moving on, because blue team are going to be able to push straight back into this fight. They are getting close to getting Condi down, though. Tasty's gone down. Condi is struggling. They were properly focusing Condi. 3 of them were chasing him around the map there. Tasty has gone down again. He's used his mist form, gone down. Slyko's going to get the stomp, and Tasty Bread's out. Sink is also going to take out the focus now. Condi is still alive. Condi is doing very good to just kipe.
Athema there, though, and Athema's actually gone down and been knocked away by Captain Devoe off point, where no one should be able to res him.
No, and Sink is pulled and pushed around, gets that gear shield out just as he has just a little bit of health left. He does manage to get his heal off now. He does blow all of his healing capabilities to get some regen off, but he is immediately low again. Blue team are so good with their focus today.
Play.
There's a banner coming in there from Evris. The banner gets Sink up, and that pulls Tasty Bread's pulled back into this fight as well. Talek is also hanging around, trying to take out Tasty. Sink is very close to dropping again. Sink's been knocked all over the place. Obviously, Engie's lacking in stability means that they are very prone to all of the knockdowns that these things like the off guards can provide.
Yeah, and Sink's actually stomped out this time after the banner already been played from Everest. But again,
double
Talek
decaps.
Actually, did get the decap on Waterfall. Decap God today.
Yeah, Ticey might be able to get this full cap though. No, I think he just dodge rolled backwards off the point ever so slightly, which stopped him getting a cap for 1 tick, which denied him the full cap. He very nearly had that full cap. They are, however, starting to pull ahead on this midpoint. They've got Everest down. Slykor's getting that stomp. He's not going to be able to get the cap before Sink gets back in though, so this team fight is going to continue. But Everest is down. They are now 5-4, and Talek's down as well. Talek's dropped, so Ticey's going to get the stealth stomp, and he gets the port stomp on Talek as well. Stealth and port stomp, very good play, very great stomp, and he's going straight for the decap again, but Tasty is on it this time. Blue team though, just red team need to regroup. They need to move back to their home point, I think, and regroup, because blue they're just feeding into mid at the minute. Evris did look briefly like he was going to go for Waterfall there, but straight away Alex is on him, and Evris has had to move back into this mid fight.
This is something I will point out though, from Tasty running the focus instead. His mobility getting back isn't as good without Ride the Lightning. Ticey is quicker off the mark than him.
And he's going to get another one here. Well, they do have Sink and Athema down as well, so blue team just massively winning these fights. And is he going to get on the point? He doesn't. They do get the decap, and they do have a 3v1 developing here with Nouveau and Condi pulling in as well. So it's going to be all of the DPS of don't know what to do here pulling in on Tasty, and he's going to get absolutely nuked out of existence very quickly. He's not going to be able to survive this at all, and he is down. He is down and out. Sink has respawned and come in, so he's just dropped his. Must have been Condi dropping his. Condi did drop his slick shoes there. Talek's going for the res. Oh,
great powder.
Yeah, the great blinding powder stealths Tasty, and he gets the res. What an incredible play by Talek there, keeping this team fight alive, and that may swing this back in his favour. With Condi now getting very low, that may well have just saved the day for Everest's Pirates here.
I'm just going to point out actually something that we had missed. Speaking about Ride the Light, Tasty actually has gone to
and
Dagger. He has changed it.
He has
changed up to Dagger.
Oh, yep.
And the pressure has been reversed, but round onto Condi now. They can actually push off this point and spiral off there.
Are they going to be able to get the res? This will be very close. They did get the banner to get him up once, but he's gone down again, and they're not going to be able to get this res. And Slykor is going to get very close to going down himself. Is he going to be? He's out of shouts, so that is going to be him done. That is going to send him down, and he is off point as well. So he is just going to be left to bleed. Condi goes out, and this is swinging back in red team's favour. This could be the start of the comeback. They are only less than 100 points behind, 80 odd points behind at the minute. Talek might well go for the immediate decap. He is going to go for it. Alex is on him though, and is actually going to take him. Yeah, they do take him down with Nouveau holding the point against 3 of them. Talek is down off point, and there goes their mobility again. We'll have to see whether Condi moves in for this team fight, because they have been winning most of these. So with Talek bleeding out up there, and Slykor has finally gone off point there. It's going to be let's see whether Ticey goes for that decap again, with Tasty Bread now fully engaged on this mid fight.
Oh, defensive Shadow Refuge actually coming out from Ticey there. Taking Shadow Refuge captain about Aeyana like as they were getting pressured, and that was absolutely.
Look at him though. Look at him. There he goes. He goes for the decap. And Tasty Bread he's got so focused on this mid fight that he's totally lost it. And I believe Ticey might well even get the full cap this time. They do have the respawn. They do have Talek on respawn, so he's gonna he's not gonna be able to get the full cap in time. Talek's gonna get there. Ticey didn't actually look like he was expecting that. I don't know whether he just missed that or whether he was baiting that sort of opening strike out of him. But Talek gets the immobilize there off on Ticey, but Ticey is, both of them playing these. Ticey playing this very and Ticey with the sword dagger is, Talek's build dagger is a lot more offensive than Ticey's sort of sword dagger. Very survivable, very sort of dodgy. Talek is going to struggle to get the skills he needs off on that. And Ticey is actually, they're going to stay and engage this 1v1.
The Basilisk there, and it's a great hit there with the proccing of the air and fire sigil on Talek.
And with Evris dropping in mid as well, he's just respawned. So Tasty's getting close to losing here and going down on mid here as well. Sink is going to get knocked down. He's had to use his slick shoes to get away, but he's got 16 seconds before his heal comes back up and very little health. He's down to 7k. He's knocked down all over the shop again. He's immobilized now off point. Ticey's back in. The gear shield is up. Asima's gone down. The cleave is real on these guys. They're not going to get the res there. He's going to get bled out. 2 seconds to this heal, 300 health, and he is down as well. Sink has dropped as well. Talek is staying up. They do get Niveau up, I think, there as well, with the Shadow Refuge res on Niveau gets him back up. Sink is dropping.
Tasty's down on point as well now.
Talek going for that decap. It's all going to be about whether Alex can get here in time. He is going to make it with the Ride the Lightning. He does get on the point, and that is again some great play there by Blue Team, able to get this just rotating very well.
It would seem also, don't know what to do. Focus damage today is actually exceptional compared to the red team. I mean, as you can see, they are running mirror image comps. The only thing is different is the focus damage. And
Ticey again, king of decaps today. I've seen him. I've streamed him. I've streamed these guys every week, obviously because they played in the final. But we've seen him in a lot of semi-finals as well. And he is seriously one of the best decapping thieves I've ever seen. He is properly on top of knowing when to engage, knowing when to disengage, knowing when to stay for the full cap. He is very quick at picking up on that. And he's going to go for it again. I think he's got Athema there, so he is going to pull back. Sink's going to drop on point again. Tasty's going to go for the rest, but the knockback comes in. The knockback comes in from Niveau and pushes him off point. Talek is not going to be able to get him up either, so Sink's going to go down again. He is spending a lot of time. Talek drops as well. Talek ports back in and drops on top of him. That was a bit of a mistake there. The banner comes in and gets him up though. This time Evris' banner does work. Sink drops still though. I think the banner rezzed him a little bit, but they weren't able to get the full res on him, and he stays down. He's stomped out. Tasty is on point. Tasty and Evris. This midpoint is staying decapped forever. And during all of that, there he was again. He's back in mid now, but Ticey gets another decap and takes out Talek just for good measure on the way back. He is having a top game today.
Don't know what to do, closing in on nearly 150 points now, away from the first win of the tournament.
Now, see, they're nearing 350. Do they just keep this going as they have, or do they start looking for a Lord push? You have to think they're just going to keep these team fights going because they are winning these. Red team are coming back in and feeding in 1v1. No need to play so aggressively. Look at Ticey again. He's not going to get this one. Sink's going to get back just in time. So look, he just pulls out straight away. He doesn't stay too long. He doesn't engage when he doesn't need to. He's on top form today, I have to say.
Even though you have to remember what Ticey's doing, although he's actually not decapping the point fully, he's taking ticks away from it, which does mean a player has to go all the way back, recap the point fully, otherwise it'll just be an easier decap for Ticey next time.
Yep. Athema is knocked down off point there as well. He might well get rezzed by Talek and Evris here. He is going to get up. Niveau sees and goes for the cleave, but just one person isn't enough with the three-man res, and Athema just sort of stood there, just stood looking at that wall for a few seconds. Back in the game now, and Ticey again is going to be able to get it on top of Tasty Bread this time. He's going to get the decap and leave, and Tasty Bread must be getting very frustrated. He even gets a quick Bassy Venom just to keep the extra couple of seconds of D-ticked point there. sort of decapped, and Talek goes down again. Sink very close to going down. Athema is down and stomped out. Sink is very close to dropping. 4,000 health. 6 bleeds. No Condi clear. He is going to be able to stay up. The burning's on him again though, and this is going to drop him. That is going to drop him off point. And blue team are, Evris feeding back into this point again. They're stopping this point from getting decapped, but they are giving up these five points from the stomp constantly.
Absolutely. The mid fight now, Evris knocked off point. He's going to be left to bleed out, and blue look like they're about to take the mid.
Yep. With Evris just
and now they
lying
are playing
prone on
very
the floor.
aggressive, pushing all the way over to mine as well.
Yeah, they know
Pushing Tasty
they know at this point that
Capture point.
they've got Alex camping their mid point. They've got a warrior on here. Doesn't really matter what happens on this mine point. They may well win it. They may well not. But it doesn't matter because they've got such a commanding lead on this that they can afford to play aggressively, providing they can keep their other points decapped. We do have Athema just hanging around. I think they've given up a little bit here. I think they're just waiting for the final few points to tick over. Athema just hanging around. Evris is just about to respawn. And at this point you have to comfortably say this is going to be a 2-0 victory for Don't Know What to Do.
Definitely. I think Don't Know What to Do, actually, one of the main things about them is each week they've actually come back and they've improved each week until they actually have taken it. It's been a superior play, but I don't know what to do, and just Evris Pirates just haven't had a solution to it. Again, though, Ticey and Talek can take at each other's throats with the clock ticking out. With Ticey taking it over Talek with the clock ticking out. Though, and congratulations to Don't Know What to Do.
Yep, we will give a big GG there to Don't Know What to Do. They have finally come back and won a final. It has taken them a few weeks of trying, but they have done it. So that is going to be 800 gems to every member of Evris' Pirates and 2,000 gems for every member of Don't Know What to Do, who are racking up the gems. They have won 800 in each of the last 2 weeks, but they will not be allowed back in the tournament for, currently it's set to 1 month, so we will not see them for 4 weeks. Now that'll allow some other fresh teams in the final,